Hello and welcome to my review of my Cerastus Knight collection. I started collecting these Cerastus Knights in 2020. COVID was well and truly with us, and I wanted to expand my current Cerastus Knight force. So it's been 3.5 years or so of collecting these. I've recently just completed the plastic Cerastus Knight Atrapos. So they're the 3 plastic ones at the back. If you gave me a painted plastic Cerastus Knight or painted resin, I'd be able to tell by looking at it. I wouldn't need to even pick it up. That would be the go-to way that you'd be able to tell, though, is by picking it up, because these resin ones do weigh a fair bit compared to the plastic counterpart. But there are loads of other differences just by looking at them. The easiest ones to tell the difference with is clearly the Atrapos and the Castigator. Both of their ammunition feeds look completely different than the resin counterparts. The Lancer is a bit more tricky to spot the difference with, but the telltale sign is usually in the splits of the joining areas of the plastic kit, and the shoulder pauldrons are massive giveaways. For instance, like if we just look right over there at that Lancer, you can see that the shoulder pauldron, the end of the shoulder pauldron, the tip, that has like a thicker mark coming out from the tip, if you can see that. And then if we just look at the resin counterpart right there, if it focuses, probably not, it just sort of stops. So that's the go-to. And yeah, if you're a bit unsure, look at the shoulder pauldrons, because the plastic and the resin ones are different. That goes with the Atrapos. I think that's quite a good comparison right there. You can see the differences between the Atrapos. All the plastic Cerastus Knights use the same base shoulder pauldron as the Lancer, the plastic Lancer, and then they just add extra pieces of armour on the top to make them look a little bit different. But the resin kits, each one has their own unique shoulder pauldron. Like, look at the Atrapos there, you can see that the flaring is more pronounced. There's an extra bit of detail there, and it's all one piece, whereas the plastic one in the background is 2 pieces and it's not as flared and things. So if you want to spot the difference, other than being able to pick it up, it's in those shoulder pauldrons. You need to understand, it's useful to know the differences between both the plastic and the resin ones. But apart from that, I've got 8 Cerastus Knights there on show in old money, I guess. These Cerastus Knights, when they first came out many years ago in resin, they were about £150 each, and then they crept up, and Forge World used to do a bundle for 3 of them for about £500 instead of sort of 600, and I think that's the bundle that I probably bought all those 3 years ago. It's been almost 4 years, when I got them in 2020, but yeah, I guess in old money, because the Atrapos is still for sale in resin, you are looking at £1,360. So is that the price of a Warlord Titan body right there, just in Cerastus Knights? I haven't decided yet. I'm still on the fence about picking up a 4th Cerastus Lancer, because then that would give me 4 plastic and 4 resin, with the Atrapos, on its own. If they do create a plastic Atrapos, I'll be all over that. And then that would give me a nice even number of 10, which is still not as many knights as the Questoris have, or even the Armigers and Moiraxes, but it's a nice chunk of knights. It's a decent household. When all's said and done, it'll be over 30 knights in the knight household, which is great. My favourite, as I said, is the Atrapos right there. You know, not because it's the only knight there that's you can only get in resin now at £225. It's just a very nice miniature. You know, the legs and the chassis are the same as the others, but there's quite a few little differences. Everything from the armor plates for the knees and the shins, to the armor plates on the thighs, to the beetle type shoulder pauldrons and carapace that you would expect to slide open like some shutters. Really like the head on that one, and the kind of cog symbol first and foremost in the chest. I think that's great. The Las Impulsor, I know Games Workshop, I say they've copied it. Forge World is Games Workshop, so they've just carried that Las Impulsor weapon over to the to plastic in the Canis Rex. You can find that exact weapon pretty much in the standard Questoris Knight kit for £105. But what you can't find at the moment in plastic, when I'm doing this collection review, is that Graviton weapon. That's an absolute beast of a weapon. I like the sort of petal structure. As it's firing, it opens up and fires like these black holes that just are area denial weapons. They stay on the battlefield, and you know, the enemy can't really go in them without causing themselves a lot of damage. I think it's definitely, I say, the most futuristic. I mean, you know, some of these knights have like ballistic weapons, like the bolt cannons and the, I mean, yeah, I know bolt guns, I know bolt weapons are miniature, you know, rocket propelled grenades, but still, you know what I mean. They either have flamers or they have kinetic weapons, or in the case of the Lancer, has like that arc lance weapon and a you know, iron shield. But in terms of the Atrapos, it's almost like it's got this futuristic esoteric weaponry in the form of like a black hole cannon and a really powerful laser, short range, like big laser cutter. I like the extinction protocols as well. Its main job is to go out and hunt other knights and titans, of course, cause some real damage. As I probably mentioned in my other review of the plastic knights, I wasn't a massive fan of these Cerastus Knights when they first brought out many years ago. I want to say 10 years ago, but it was after the Questoris Knights, I know that much, so it might have been 7 or 8 years ago. They started off with the Lancer, then they brought out the I think the Acheron, then the Castigator. My memory is a bit fuzzy on them, but the Atrapos was definitely one of the newest ones because it's CAD and it has really good CAD instructions. So that's definitely one of the newest. It does deserve to be in plastic, I think, even though in the rules you can kind of only take one of them because they're such rare and devastating knights. But definitely, if they're bringing this plastic mechanicum and things out, you know, it's going to be a great showpiece in that army. It's going to be the biggest thing you've got, because I highly doubt they'll bring out like an Asterius in plastic. They never brought out a Porphyrion, so why would they bring out like these those Cerastus Knights? My least favourite, again, this is my least favourite, not the one that I dislike, probably the Castigator. I like the, you know, the sort of sword and the helmet. Castigated bolt cannon is a very, very nice weapon. Looks wise, it's like a Vulcan mega bolter, but vertical, which is a nice look. Probably is my least favourite out of the bunch. But what do you guys think of the Cerastus Knights, and which one is your favourite? Favourite pose? I think maybe I'm reading between the lines, but probably people will really enjoy that Lancer pose, the one on the left. Holding that shield up with the lance at just the right kind of angle and the legs. I think I did a good job with that one. If I was going to get a fourth Lancer, it would be in that pose, but opposite. So I'd have the shield in the right hand and the lance in the left. So both of them together would make a great companion showpiece, guarding a Titan or guarding something. That would be my plan. For that one, I wouldn't just have another Lancer kind of just walking forwards and things. I'd have it in a sort of bracing pose. Please put your comments below. As always, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.